With the death of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, Punjab was thrown into chaos on 27th June 1839. Now, looking at his family tree, it seems that there was no problem with successorship for the Sikh kingdom. Even with Ranjit Singh's death, he had 7 sons and quite a few grandsons who could claim the throne, as well as extended cousins. So it seemed that the Sikh family would be set and there would be no problem. With succession. But that wasn't the case. Now let's see how the Sikh successorship worked after Ranjit Singh's death.
So we start with the eldest and heir apparent to Ranjit Singh, Kartar Singh. At the time of his death, Kartar Singh was already 37 years old. The Sikh historian Khushwant Singh actually describes Kartar Singh as the least suited of all the successors to be able to rule the empire. And he basically says, and I quote, "The least suited of the brothers, having inherited nothing from his illustrious sire except his plain looks and bad habits, particularly the love for laudanum and hard liquor." The royal physician actually wrote about him. Besides being a blockhead, he was a worse oppumator than his father. So there are a lot of people that kind of already think that he is not fit enough to rule this big empire that Ranjit Singh is handing over to him. So historians basically believe that Kartar Singh had been brought up by servants, and the servants gave in to every whim of the little prince. Kartar Singh is said to have been easygoing, but without any of the down-to-earth humbleness that Ranjit Singh had, which made him valuable to the masses. So regardless of the word that different historians use, a lot of them have come to the conclusion that Kartar Singh was not fit to be a suitable ruler for the empire. And with Ranjit Singh ebbing ill towards the end of his reign, the courtiers became more bold and more daring. Kartar Singh was not able to bring in any kind of discipline or any diplomatic flair. And he was basically a puppet ruler. He basically did everything that Chet Singh Bajwa asked of him. This was becoming problematic because Chet Singh, as a lot of historians remark, only wanted to rule himself. He was not really looking towards the good of the empire. So now here's where the court politics kind of comes into play. There's another advisor called Dhyan Singh Dogra. Now he also wants to come into power, and Chet Singh has his little puppet in the form of Kartar Singh. And now Dhyan Singh needs to find somebody to go up against Kartar Singh. And who better for the job than the next in line for the throne, Kartar Singh's son, Nonhal Singh. Historians basically say that Nonhal Singh was everything that his father was not, and more. He was a good military leader, he had experience in fighting wars, he had a tactical mind, he had a diplomatic flair, and the army really respected him. A lot of people thought that if Kartar Singh was out of the way, Nonhal Singh could actually lead the Sikh empire to greater things. More than that, because of his intelligence, Nonhal Singh could actually already see how his father was a weak ruler. He could see that Chet Singh Bajwa was using him, and he could also see that the British are also closing in and taking advantage of the weakness created by Kartar Singh. So Dhyan Singh Dogra took advantage of this opportunity, and he further drove a wedge between the son and the father to such an extent that it led to murders. Now, at this time in the Sikh court, murders had actually become a very common thing. One of the most vital murders was of Chet Singh Bajwa himself, which came as a big surprise to the entire court. So it is said that in the middle of the night, Dhyan Singh Dogra, along with an entourage of troops, including Nonhal Singh at the head, they gained access to the Khwabgah, basically room where they slept, the Khwabgah of the Maharaja Kartar Singh, and at the same time Chet Singh Bajwa was also sleeping there. And they brutally murdered, they disemboweled Chet Singh Bajwa in front of Kartar Singh, who begged for the life of his friend. But Nonhal Singh and Dhyan Singh Dogra were relentless. Obviously, this event led to some shift in the dynamics of the ruling of the empire. From this point onwards, Kartar Singh became a figurehead and moved back into the shadows, while Nonhal Singh and Dhyan Singh Dogra were actually running the show. Even though it sounds very dramatic, this ended up being very good for the empire itself, because in the short period of time, Nonhal Singh was actually able to bring discipline. He was able to kind of put some faith back into the army. He took care of the British dignitaries that had been hounding Kartar Singh ever since he got onto the throne. And at the same time, he was able to get back the salt mines from the Mandis, which was a huge asset. Now, for a time period, it seemed like the legacy of Ranjit Singh was in safe hands. However, after having a few glimpses of success and power, Nonhal Singh kind of went down the same path. He became a little bit easy. He was not as diligent and as vigilant as he once was. The real interesting bit is what happened and how immediately it happened to Nonhal Singh. So on 5th November 1840, Kartar Singh basically drank himself to death. Nonhal Singh now becomes the actual ruler, not just behind the curtains. He was now the actual Maharaja, the title which was previously held by Kartar Singh. The weird and interesting bit is that right after the funeral of Maharaja Kartar Singh, when Maharaja Nonhal Singh was coming back, the Roshni gate, the entire gate actually collapsed onto the whole entourage. Nonhal Singh faced fatal wounds. Bance Singh Dogra, the Prime Minister, was also with him at the time. However, he survived. And Nonhal Singh was rushed back to the palace and he was held in his room. And he was alive for about 2 days, but nobody was allowed to meet him. But actually, it's kind of a little confusing as to how long he was alive, because Bance Singh Dogra kind of kept it a secret that Nonhal Singh has passed away, because he did not want that vacuum of power to kind of bring in all these new contenders. Even Nonhal Singh's mother didn't know what was going on. So, there are a lot of speculations as to how he actually died, because it seems so uncanny. So now at this point, two of the very viable successors of Ranjit Singh have completely vanished.
While all of this ensued in court, now the most powerful person was the Prime Minister Bance Singh Dogra himself, and he was aware of it. And he didn't want panic to ensue in the court, or that is his official statement. And he kind of, as Misha mentioned, doesn't let the news pass that the Maharaja has died, because that would obviously not only invite people from within the court who seek power, but also external factors like the British. So he kind of suppresses the news, and meanwhile, he sends word to Batala, where Raja Ranjit Singh's third son, Sher Singh, resides, and he wants him to come over and take the throne as the rightful heir. But interestingly, that's not what happens. And here kind of rises the unlikely third successor of Raja Ranjit Singh, which is Rani Kaur. Now you may ask, who is Kaur and how is she coming in between this line of successorship of men and men? Well, Rani Kaur was the widow of Kartar Singh himself. And what happens is that Kaur is aided by her misl or her family caste, which is the Sandevalias. And now they intercept that message that is going to Batala towards Sher Singh. So they kind of know that Nonhal Singh has passed away and there's this power vacuum in the Sikh court. Now, Kaur is a very fascinating figure. She was determined to be heard in that court. So what she does is, she claims her own right to the throne as Kartar Singh's widow and the late Maharaja Nonhal Singh's mother. So as Queen Dowager, you may have it. She kind of spoiled Bance Singh Dogra's plan to appoint Sher Singh, and with the help of her cousins, the Sandevalias, she appointed herself with the official title Malikai-Muqaddas, or Queen Empress. Bance Singh Dogra wasn't going to take this lying back, so he kind of put forth many kind of ruses to establish the direct line of Sher Singh. He suggested to Rani Kaur that she marry Sher Singh, to which she scoffed, and this is how many historians record it, is that she was a fiercely proud woman, and she looked down upon this suggestion, and she firmly stated that she could rule, and she could rule on her own. And now we come back, as we mentioned in the start, to the British. Now they were a very big power who kind of had this role of consolidating power. If the British, who were expanding everywhere else in India, could acknowledge you, you would probably have a longer hold on the Sikh kingdom. And it is to them that she looked for acknowledging her power as the new ruler of the Sikhs. Unfortunately for Rani Kaur, that was a bad move, because The English preferred Sher Singh, who had military support and he was generally well liked as someone the British could work with, whereas Chand Kaur was seen as a very unstable variant in that game. The situation quickly deteriorated in Punjab. While Chand Kaur tried everything, she tried to bribe military men and to establish her power because she didn't come from a weak family. She was very strong within the court. But unfortunately, Sher Singh had such overwhelming support as well as being backed by not only the British but also Dhyan Singh Dogra, who himself was a very big power in the Sikh court. It was inevitable that her rule came to an end, and it lasted for only 1.5 months, after which she was kind of quietly deposed to the side, where although Sher Singh suggested his hand in marriage, but mysteriously, one night, Chand Kaur's maidservant killed her, and it's stated that she killed her in a fit of rage. But as always, those kind of details are murky and questionable. Now enters the fourth successor of Raja Ranjit Singh, and whom Dhyan Singh Dogra really wanted to be the third one, is Prince Sher Singh. Now, Prince Sher Singh, as I mentioned before, was popular within the army, but also he had a certain flair to him. And I'm going to read this excerpt from Khushwant Singh's book, which I found fascinating because I think it says quite a lot about the rulers that history shows. And he quotes that Prince Sher Singh, he was handsome and courteous. He was a bit of a dilettante and dressed with meticulous care. He used expensive perfumes and applied pomades to curl his mustache and set his beard, which he parted in the middle and tucked upwards towards his ears. He liked good food and French wines. He was fond of women, and women were fond of him. And he admired the English, and the English preferred him to any other claimant. And I think that says a lot about the way he ruled as well. He was a good military strategist, but he did not have the dramatic flair that Ranjit Singh or Nonhal Singh had. And although he could lead the army to an extent, his personality often led to him kind of falling back from heavy diplomatic agreements or being pressured by the British themselves. Throughout his whole reign, the situation kind of deteriorated slowly. The British put intense pressure on him, and Sher Singh was not up to that match. He clearly couldn't keep up with it, even if he wanted to. As well as the fact that the Sikh treasury was kind of declining, he couldn't pay all of his military men as these wars ensued and became even more taxing on the whole Sikh kingdom. And then approached 27th January 1841. On this day, Sher Singh, with his son Pratap Singh, paid a visit to Shah Bilawal ki Baradari, or now that we know it as Sher Singh ki Baradari. Here, he went with his cousins, the Sandewalias, who were related to Chand Kaur, if you remember. And he was inspecting guns with them when one called Ajit Singh, who was a Sandewalia who had become a close confidant of Sher Singh, took the gun, and Sher Singh was standing at the barrel end of the rifle, and he shot it right into Sher Singh. And his last words were uttered in pure shock, "Ae ki daga," or "What is this treachery?" And he passed away. Now this happened due to many factors, one of the most important being that Sher Singh more often than not listened to Dhyan Singh, and the Sandewalias realized that they could never have court power while Dhyan Singh was there. So, in one swell move, they not only got rid of Sher Singh, they killed his son Pratap Singh as well as Dhyan Singh Dogra.
So now at this point, a lot of the sons of Ranjit Singh have been killed, murdered, or have mysteriously died. And now the power is given to the 5-year-old prince, now the Maharaja Dalip Singh. And there are some other sons of Ranjit Singh who could have laid claim to the throne. However, at this point, the British enter the picture. They never get the chance. And more on this in the next video.